I'm doing it for my daughter.
You know the Einstein quote?
Mm-hmm.
Like Einstein said something like, or Tesla was like, a guy living a simple life is going to live a hell of a lot better than them. And I'm like, yes, he's right.
Joey, can you look up a Bible quote? Bread in peace, better than banquet. Yeah, better is a dry morsel with quiet than a house full of feasting with strife.
Yeah.
Heavy.
I'm with that.
Oh my God, that is a heavy quote.
You have to put systems in place in this world, though, to give yourself that sort of output.
It's very hard to get tranquility.
Well, you can't want to make $10 million. Because $10 million definitely doesn't, from being white, doesn't come free. So you'd have to really rattle the cages, put yourself in a really tough, slow, organic build, but you got to like pick your battles. You know, could you go out and do fucking Sam Hyde live? You know, fuck your whole life up and drive around? You sure you could. Could you start doing the wildest shit in the world to rattle the cage?
Well, that's why I avoid that stuff, you know?
Yeah.
It's because I'm a hardcore believer in that quote.
Yeah.
I think that's extremely true.
Joe, I don't know how you work, like your output. Like, are you like you always working making music? Like you kind of have a good work-life balance?
I don't have a good balance, I don't think. I think it comes in waves.
Yeah.
Because the music thing is a little bit different, but like work, I'm pretty consistent.
You stay busy for X amount of time and know when to like, that's that. At the end of the day, like a certain project, you'll be able to put a fork in it at the end of the
Joey takes time off when he needs to.
Yeah.
You know how to like unwind.
Yeah.
Because you go ham for, I don't know how you are. I mean,
I try. I have to keep my everything organized.
Yeah. Big spreadsheets.
And I'm constantly aware of the passage of time, because I'm 37, and 37 doesn't feel old, but if you're thinking about brain age and cultural relevance, it's mad old.
Yeah.
So the way I see it, I have, I don't know in terms, the reason why cultural relevance is important is because it's money for the podcast. And if I drop out of relevance, then the podcast viewers paywall viewers go down, and then the money dries up, that's why it's a problem. It's not that I care so much about being famous or something. It's that I would like to continue. I need the funding to come in so that I can fund this video game thing. That's like the Grail project. That's where I view my 40s, my money making, my productive years, my like established guy who knows what he's doing years, 40 to 50, make a video game, take 10 years, make it as good as possible. Do it the wrong way. People say you're supposed to start small and be iterative. I'm going to start as big as possible and plan for it to take 10 years. I don't care. It's for my own. That's what I want to do with my fucking time. Yeah. But so the way that I work, I have to be. I try to keep steadfastness and tranquility, and focus on the mission. And I have a very easy time. Like even with the fight, which was super stressful, I can sort of containerize that stress and put it outside myself, so I don't really feel it. Like it's wholly miserable to be working out like that and sweating in the summer in a truck with no AC and a cloth interior. But it doesn't matter. I'm fine with that. But the one thing that I can't deal with and that I have to escape at all costs and just ruins my life is being around people I don't like. And that's a massive thing. That either ruins my life or makes my life like heavenly, is the type of people that I surround myself with. I'm very particular about that. Yeah. Because there are some really, really awful motherfuckers that just in general, just in life, you know how bad people are. And it's not even, and it's just like selling cars especially, there's I just remember that the people that I sold cars with were like, they were just evil and shitty in like weird little ways that if you tried to relate them to somebody else, they wouldn't get why it was bad or whatever. But I sort of I get so focused on other people's like pathologies and like fucking bad vibes. Like I can't be around someone with bad vibes. Yeah. I have to hit the eject button right away.
And you've always been that way.
I've been, yeah.
I mean, even when there was less stakes.
Yeah, and as
less at
my
stake.
as I've gotten more established and, you know, have more, I guess, ability to make money, sort of insulating myself from problems, it's been much easier to cut ties with people who are losers.
Yeah. Well, it's tough to relate to them because if someone's
That too. I cannot relate with people who are like, I can't be around people with a negative outlook.
Mm.
And that's there's man, oh man, people there's something about there's something especially bad about artists and creative people and people who are good at something technical. They do two things. The first thing is they have this like man in the castle tower kind of outlook where they think that because they're doing something creative, they're like better than other people. That's just something I can't stand. I can't be around that. And people who are precious about their work, like it fucking kills me because you're
the puppy mill that's being run across the street.
The kill shelter.
Yeah, the kill shelter they're running. The time to kill.
The artwork stuff. It's like any other type of work. You're trying to learn craftsmanship. You're trying to, if you have a right head on, trying to build something that is like a tribute to God, basically. It's like you're trying to make something that is like in line with a higher realm. It's not that you're trying to make something that is holy or so amazing that it makes people think about God. You're trying to the kingdom of heaven, or just the kingdom of right ideas, like whatever the sort of like the realm that exists above this realm. You are trying to make something that mirrors that, or something that elevates our realm into a higher state of existence. You're not trying to. That's why like a lot of modern art. It's really funny to me because I guess when I was a teenager, I used to think, I used to understand modern art. Like I used to be like, what's so good about beauty? Like a painting, like a fucking old painting, what's the point of having, it's just beautiful. What's the point of it? It doesn't make you think. Like modern art, you're supposed to have like a concept. I remember getting bad grades sometimes because I didn't write essays to go along with my art. And in a school that teaches this type of stuff, you have the essay that goes along with it's much more important than the actual piece. Like you could draw some fucking garbage and have to make. But if your essay was strong, you would get a good grade. I remember a lot. Me and Brian had a lot of trouble with this, and Brian would make these things that were like obviously beautiful and should exist, but he wouldn't be able to write. He's good at it now, I'm sure.
No, yeah, but I remember you back when he used to write his. Yeah,
when he was 18, I would write his things for him.
Yeah,
because he didn't know how to do it, and he would get in trouble or get pressured from the teachers or whatever. But the stuff he'd be making would be much far better than anything else anybody in the class made.
But his explanation of it was subpar.
It was like
and you were a better writer.
Imagine 18-year-old Brian trying to talk about why beauty's important. Yeah,
it's like. Touch my body. Kiss me, stupid.
Sneaky pussy getter.
Kiss me, stupid. Come here. Come on, kiss me, stupid girl. Fucking idiot. It's turning dark immediately. Just fucking get away from me, you fucking. I love Brian. He's the fucking best. She's a moron. How come I can't talk to her? I kiss her.
Anyway, the reason why beauty is important is because like the world is this state of disarray and iniquity and whatever. Not that that's all it is, but it is Satan is the king of the earthly realm. And you don't have to be religious to believe in all this stuff. It's clear that like evil triumphs on earth
currently.
No, in general, and it's not in every aspect. It's not like in your relationship with your child or whatever, but in general, like the material world is one that is
It gives into the sins.
It's not the ideal state of things. Okay, and we know this for various reasons. That's what it is. So there is an ideal state to things, and that's why art that is beautiful just for beauty's sake, that's why it's good, is because it is something from this like higher state of order where things are the way that they should be, or it reaches for it. It reaches for it in a way that's like
through the technique and the medium,
through the technique and through what it is, like the image, like how beautiful it is. It reaches for this higher state, and it reminds the viewer to reach for it as well. It's the same thing as living in it. And I think that architecture is the highest form. I think that different art forms they have based on their complexity and just what they do, they have different degrees of relevance to this idea of reaching for the divine. I think architecture is the highest form because just because it's so it's such an obvious metaphor. You're standing in the room, you're in the space, you are in the divine
it's like walking
space.
in a painting, or being able to slide in a painting, or dance in a painting.
If you could do that, that's what you're doing. You're doing that in architecture.
Yeah, architecture. It's difficult. It's multi-component.
It's the hardest one.
It's got a lot of dimensions. You don't have to bend your painting around a stair rail.
Yes. You have to. You're doing this. The constraint in architecture is physical reality. It's gravity. It's
labor,
material forces. It's money. It's labor. It's all these things.
Yeah.
A painting is just. Paintings are fantastic, but it's not the same thing.
Vetting component abilities.
Yeah.
So like, what if one guy sucks? Mm-hmm. What if the stair guy doesn't get what you're talking about? Like, listen, man, I want like exposed aggregate stairs.
It's just far more complex and difficult.
It's a lot.
And that things that are complex and difficult, it's not that complexity and difficulty on their own yield a higher result, but they're necessary. You can't have something that's truly ascendant. And it's not that paintings aren't difficult. Of course, painting's difficult. But if you're trying to go for something that's ascendant and divine, it's going to be fucking difficult. Like, obviously. How could it be any? Because if it wasn't, then everybody would have it. Yeah, I think so. I think it comes back to that quote from the Bible. Can we pull that up? Pull that up again, Joey?
A bitter morsel of bread for parties is bigger, bitter, less than filler.
Big titty bread.
That's big titty bread with fucking fat.
Better is a dry morsel with quiet than a house full of feasting with strife. Fuck, that's true.
It's true, though, bro.
A meal of bread and water in contented peace is better than a banquet spiced with quarrels. Fuck all those people.
I really hope a lot of people, because I know not everybody's going to be
quarreling out of your life.
Comedians, not everybody's going to be a fucking comedian or a fucking rapper or a podcaster or a YouTuber, and I get that. Mm-hmm. And I just hope that you can skip the fucking part of it where you torture yourself for a decade and maybe blow out someone you love and maybe ruin a friendship which gets back to like, sometimes the working hard brings the worst out of you. When you push yourself to the boilerplate, you know what I mean? Like, you're just like, I didn't like who I was back there.